Hey there, and welcome to a journey that might just change the way you look at life's most challenging moments. I know what you're thinking, another motivational video that promises to solve all your problems. But I want you to do something different right now. Don't even think about clicking away or scrolling past. Trust me. The next few minutes could be the most important investment you'll make in yourself this year. Imagine for a moment that you're standing in the middle of a storm. Everything around you is falling apart. Your career, your relationships, your dreams. The wind is howling, the rain is pouring, and you feel completely overwhelmed. Most people would panic, break down, or simply give up. But what if I told you there's a way to not just survive these moments, but to actually thrive in them? Today we're going to explore a philosophy that has helped people navigate life's most brutal challenges for thousands of years. A philosophy that turns adversity into opportunity, fear into strength, and chaos into calm. I'm talking about Stoicism, an ancient wisdom that is more relevant today than ever before. Now, I want you to make me a promise. Stay with me until the end of this video, every single minute. Because what I'm about to share isn't just another motivational speech. It's a practical guide to transforming your life, straight from the wisdom of some of the most remarkable minds in human history. Stoicism isn't about suppressing your emotions or becoming a motionless robot. It's about understanding that while we can't control everything that happens to us, we can always control how we respond. The Stoic philosophers, Marcus Aurelius, Epictetus, Seneca, they weren't some theoretical academics sitting in ivory towers. They were real people who faced incredible challenges: war, exile, slavery, loss, and personal tragedy. Marcus Aurelius, one of the most powerful men in the world as the Roman emperor, wrote his most profound insights during times of war and personal suffering. Epictetus, who was born a slave and lived with a permanent physical disability, developed a philosophy of inner freedom that continues to inspire millions. Seneca navigated political intrigue and personal danger with a calm that seemed almost superhuman. What made these individuals different? How could they remain calm and focused when the world around them was falling apart? The answer lies in a simple yet profound principle: the dichotomy of control. Let me break this down for you in a way that will immediately change how you see your challenges. Epictetus once said, "Some things are in our control and some things are not." Sounds simple, right? But here's the revolutionary part. Most of us spend 90% of our mental and emotional energy worrying about things we cannot change, instead of focusing on what we can actually control. Let me give you a practical example. You lose your job. Immediately, your mind starts racing. You worry about paying bills, what others will think, whether you'll find another job. But here's the Stoic approach. What can you control in this moment? You can control your effort in updating your resume. You can control reaching out to your network. You can control your attitude in how you approach job interviews. What can't you control? The job market, the decisions of potential employers, the global economic situation. Most people get this backwards. They obsess over what they can control and neglect what they can. Stoicism teaches us to flip this script. Marcus Aurelius put it beautifully. You have power over your mind, not outside events. Realize this, and you will find strength. Let's talk about something painful: rejection, failure, loss. These are the moments that break most people. But for a Stoic, these are not endpoints. They are opportunities for growth. Seneca wrote, "Difficulties strengthen the mind as labor does the body." Think about that for a moment. Every challenge you face is not a punishment. It's a training ground for your mind. When a relationship ends, when a business fails, when a dream seemingly dies, most people see this as the end. A Stoic sees this as a beginning, a chance to rebuild, to learn, to become stronger. But this isn't about toxic positivity. This isn't about pretending everything is okay. This is about acknowledging the pain, understanding the situation, and then choosing your response with intention and wisdom. I'm going to share with you 3 powerful Stoic techniques that you can start using immediately to stay calm when life falls apart. 1. Negative visualization. This might sound counterintuitive, but the Stoics practiced something called negative visualization, or premeditatio malorum, deliberately imagining worst-case scenarios. But here's the twist. Not to create anxiety, but to prepare yourself and appreciate what you have. Imagine losing your job. Imagine a health challenge. Imagine a major personal setback. By mentally preparing for these scenarios, you accomplish 2 things. You reduce the emotional shock if they actually happen, and you develop a deep appreciation for what you currently have. Epictetus said, "He is a wise man who does not grieve for the things which he has not, but rejoices for those which he has." 2. The view from above. When you're in the middle of a crisis, everything seems massive. Your problems feel like mountains. The Stoics had a technique called the view from above, mentally zooming out and seeing your current challenge in the grand scheme of the universe. Imagine looking at your life from space. Your current problem becomes tiny. Your stress becomes insignificant. This perspective doesn't minimize your experience. It gives you the mental space to respond rather than react. 3. Journal of reflection. Marcus Aurelius didn't write his famous meditations for publication. He wrote them for himself as a form of personal reflection and mental training. Start a journal, not to document events, but to process them. Ask yourself, what can I learn from this situation? How can this challenge make me stronger? What is within my control right now? This is just the beginning of our journey. In the next part, we'll dive deeper into how Stoicism can transform your approach to life's most challenging moments. Remember, you promised to stay till the end. Your transformation starts now. In our hyper-connected, always-on world, emotional resilience isn't just a luxury, it's a survival skill. Social media bombards us with carefully curated images of success. Algorithms feed us a constant stream of news designed to trigger anxiety. We're more connected than ever, yet paradoxically, we feel more isolated and overwhelmed. This is where Stoicism becomes not just a philosophy, but a lifeline. Consider the concept of voluntarily confronting discomfort, a core Stoic practice that directly contradicts our modern tendency to avoid anything challenging. Where we seek instant gratification, the Stoics sought personal growth through deliberate difficulty. Seneca once wrote, "It is not because things are difficult that we do not dare. It is because we do not dare that things are difficult." Those words echo through centuries, challenging us to reframe our relationship with challenge. Let's talk about emotional responses. Most people believe their emotions happen to them, like some external force they can't control. Stoicism teaches something radical. Emotions are not events. They are your interpretation of events. When your boss criticizes your work, you have 2 potential paths. 1. Immediate emotional reaction. Feel crushed, defensive, angry. 2. Stoic response. Analyze the feedback objectively, extract learning, improve. The difference? One path leads to suffering, the other to growth. Epictetus highlighted this brilliantly. Men are disturbed not by things, but by the view which they take of them. Think about that. This same event can trigger completely different emotional responses in different people. Stoicism introduces what they call the discipline of perception, as it does by explaining how such discipline is important not only for the culture, but also for the mind, by helping us understand the true nature of reality, fear, or unrealistic expectations. Imagine losing a significant opportunity. A typical response might be devastation. A Stoic response? This didn't happen to me. It happened for me. This isn't toxic positivity. This is strategic reframing. Every setback carries a lesson if you're willing to look for it. I'm going to share 3 advanced techniques for emotional regulation, straight from Stoic philosophy. 1. The October 10th 10 Emotional Assessment. When facing a challenging situation, ask yourself, how would this matter in 10 minutes? How will this matter in 10 months? How will this matter in 10 years? Most of our emotional turbulence dissolves when we apply this perspective. That argument with a friend? Probably insignificant in 10 months. That professional setback? Maybe a pivotal moment of redirection in 10 years. 2. Voluntary discomfort training. The Stoics believed in regularly experiencing mild discomfort to build emotional resilience. This doesn't mean self-harm. It means intentionally doing things that are slightly uncomfortable. Examples: take a cold shower, fast for a day, sleep on a hard floor, walk instead of driving, speak in public when you're nervous. Each small act of voluntary discomfort builds your emotional muscle, making you more adaptable when real challenges arrive. 3. Amor fati, love of fate. This is perhaps the most profound Stoic concept. Amor fati doesn't mean passive acceptance, but active love of everything that happens, good or bad. Imagine truly loving every moment of your life, not because everything is perfect, but because everything is an opportunity for growth, learning, and transformation. Stoic philosophy isn't just mental, it's deeply connected to physical well-being. Modern neuroscience is now catching up with what ancient philosophers understood centuries ago. When you practice Stoic techniques, you're literally rewiring your brain's response to stress. You're creating new neural pathways that help you respond rather than react. Deep breathing, meditation, mindful movement, these aren't just trendy wellness concepts. They're practical tools for emotional regulation that the Stoics intuitively understood long before scientific research validated them. Stay with me. We're about to dive into the most transformative part of our journey, how to practically implement these principles in your daily life. Remember, knowledge without application is just information. Transformation happens when you truly live these principles. We've explored the philosophy, now let's talk about implementation. How do you actually live these principles when life feels like it's falling apart? The key is understanding that Stoicism is not a theoretical concept. It's a lived practice, a moment-by-moment choice to respond with wisdom, courage, and inner peace. Let me share a personal framework I've developed, combining ancient Stoic wisdom with modern psychological insights. I call it the CALM framework. C. Comprehend the situation. A. Accept what you cannot change. L. Learn from the experience. M. Move forward with intention. Each letter represents a critical step in navigating life's most challenging moments. Comprehension begins with radical honesty. Not the kind of honesty that beats yourself up, but the kind that sees reality clearly and objectively. When a crisis hits, most people do one of 2 things. 1. Deny the reality of the situation. 2. Catastrophize and assume the worst. Stoicism offers a third path, clear-eyed assessment. Marcus Aurelius advised, "Be like the rocky headland on which the waves constantly break. It stands firm, and round it the seething waters are laid to rest." To comprehend means to ask yourself, what exactly is happening? What are the actual facts? What assumptions am I making? What emotional reactions are clouding my judgment? Acceptance is not surrender. It's strategic positioning. Think of acceptance like a martial artist. When an opponent attacks, a skilled fighter doesn't resist the force directly. They redirect it, use its momentum, find the path of least resistance. The same applies to life's challenges. you can't control? Other people's actions, economic fluctuations, unexpected health challenges, global events. But you can control your response, your effort, your attitude, your next move. Epictetus put it perfectly. There is only one way to happiness, and that is to cease worrying about things which are beyond the power of our will. Every challenge carries a lesson. Every setback contains a seed of equivalent or greater opportunity. But learning requires something most people struggle with: intellectual humility. The ability to say, I don't know everything, I can grow from this. Practical learning techniques. 1. Journaling. Write down what happened, your initial emotional response, and what you've learned. 2. Seek perspective. Talk to mentors. Read biographies of people who overcame similar challenges. 3. Reflective practice. Ask yourself powerful questions like, oh, what does this experience reveal about my strengths? Oh, what skills do I need to develop? Oh, how can this challenge make me more resilient? Intention is the bridge between acceptance and action. After comprehending the situation, accepting what you cannot change, and learning the lessons, you must move. Not frantically, not reactively, but with clear, deliberate intention. This might mean developing a new skill, rebuilding relationships, changing career paths, investing in personal growth, redefining your goals. Seneca wrote, if one does not know to which port one is sailing, no wind is favorable. Your intention becomes your compass. It transforms random movement into purposeful progress. Resilience isn't about never breaking. It's about how quickly and effectively you put yourself back together. Think of your mind like a sophisticated smartphone. Most people never update their mental operating system. They run on outdated software, wondering why they keep encountering the same problems. Stoicism is your mental update, your psychological reset button. We're about to enter the most powerful section of our journey, the practical daily practices that will transform your relationship with challenge. Stay with me. Your transformation is closer than you think. Most philosophical approaches remain theoretical. Stoicism is different. It's a living, breathing practice that transforms your daily experience. I'm going to share a series of daily practices that will fundamentally reshape how you encounter challenges. These aren't just suggestions. Consider them mental training exercises that build your emotional resilience, just as physical exercise builds muscle. Every morning presents a choice. Most people wake up and immediately become reactive, checking messages, scrolling social media, letting external stimuli dictate their mental state. A Stoic morning looks different. Start with a 10-minute reflection routine. 1. Anticipate challenges before your day begins. Mentally rehearse potential difficulties, not to create anxiety, but to prepare yourself. What meetings might be challenging? What interactions could test your patience? By anticipating, you remove the element of surprise. Seneca called this premeditatio malorum, preparing for potential adversities. It's like a mental fire drill. You're not hoping for problems, but you're ready if they arrive. 2. Set intentional boundaries. Decide in advance how you'll respond to potential stressors. Will you remain calm during a difficult conversation? Will you pause before reacting to provocative emails? 3. Gratitude inventory. Spend 2 minutes acknowledging what you have, not what you lack. Gratitude is not toxic positivity. It's a strategic mental reset that provides perspective. Just as important as morning preparation is evening reflection. This is where you convert daily experiences into wisdom. At the end of each day, ask yourself 3 questions. 1. Where did I succeed in maintaining my principles? 2. Where did I fall short? 3. What can I learn and adjust for tomorrow? This isn't about self-judgment, it's about continuous, compassionate improvement. Let me share 5 specific techniques that blend Stoic philosophy with modern psychological insights. 1. The 90-second emotion rule. Neurology, an emotional trigger, takes 90 seconds to fully process through your system. If you can pause for 90 seconds when triggered, you'll notice the emotion's intensity dramatically reduces. 2. Perspective shifting exercise. When facing a challenging situation, ask, will this matter in 5 years? What would my wisest self do right now? What's the most constructive response? 3. Voluntary discomfort training regularly. Do something slightly uncomfortable. Take a cold shower. Fast for a day. Speak in public. Learn a challenging skill. Each small act of controlled discomfort builds emotional resilience. 4. The external/internal divide. For every situation, quickly categorize. What's externally controlled cannot change. What's internally controlled, NSF.government. Focus your energy only on the internal realm. 5. Philosophical journal. Spend 10 minutes each evening writing, not a diary of events, but a reflection on your emotional responses, learnings, and growth. Stoicism isn't about becoming emotionless. It's about becoming emotionally intelligent. In relationships, this means responding, not reacting, setting clear boundaries, practicing empathy without losing yourself, understanding that you cannot control others' actions, only your response. Epictetus captured this beautifully. He is a wise man who does not grieve for the things which he has not, but rejoices for those which he has. We're approaching the most transformative section of our journey. The practices I'm about to share will not just help you survive challenging times, they'll help you thrive amid chaos. Stay with me. We've journeyed through the landscape of Stoic philosophy, explored practical techniques, and now we're approaching the most critical question. How do these principles truly transform your life? Mental resilience isn't about becoming invincible, it's about becoming adaptable, flexible, unbreakable in spirit, even when external circumstances seem to be crumbling around you. Let me be brutally honest with you. Implementing Stoic principles is not a linear journey. You won't wake up one day and suddenly have perfect emotional control. It's a practice, a daily commitment. Some days you'll excel, other days you'll struggle. And that's perfectly okay. Marcus Aurelius understood this centuries ago when he wrote in his personal journals, "When you wake up in the morning, tell yourself, the people I deal with today will be meddling, ungrateful, arrogant, dishonest, jealous, and surly. They are like this because they can't tell good from evil. But I have seen the beauty of good and the ugliness of evil, and have recognized that the wrongdoer has a nature related to my own, not of the same blood or birth, but the same mind, and possessing a share of the divine." Notice how he didn't expect perfection from himself or others. He expected humanity, complexity, imperfection. One of the most profound aspects of Stoic practice is its potential to break generational patterns of emotional reactivity. Most of us inherit emotional responses, learned from our parents, reinforced by societal narratives, trapped in cycles of anxiety, anger, and fear. Stoicism offers a radical alternative, conscious emotional design. You're not just healing yourself, you're creating a blueprint for emotional intelligence that can transform generations. Modern neuroscience is catching up with ancient philosophical wisdom. When you practice Stoic techniques, you're literally rewiring your brain. Neuroplasticity, the brain's ability to form new neural connections, means that every time you choose a measured, intentional response over a reactive one, you're creating new pathways of thinking. It's like creating a new road through an untraveled forest. The first time it's difficult, you're cutting through dense vegetation, but with each pass, the path becomes clearer, easier, more natural. Let's talk about real-world application. How do these principles work in 1. Professional challenges, job loss, career transitions, workplace conflicts. 2. Personal relationship dynamics, breakups, family tensions, friendship challenges. 3. Personal growth obstacles, financial struggles, health challenges, self-doubt and imposter syndrome. In each scenario, the Stoic approach remains consistent. Separate what you can control from what you cannot. Focus on your response, not external circumstances. See challenges as opportunities for growth. Maintain inner peace regardless of external turbulence. Here's the most beautiful aspect of Stoic practice. By learning to care less about things beyond your control, you actually become more effective in influencing those very circumstances. When you're not consumed by anxiety, you can think clearly. When you're not paralyzed by fear, you can take strategic action. When you're not overwhelmed by external chaos, you become a source of calm for others. We're approaching the final, most powerful section of our journey. The principles I'm about to share will not just help you survive, they'll help you redefine your entire relationship with life's challenges. Stay with me. We've traveled a profound journey together, from understanding the core principles of Stoicism to exploring practical techniques for maintaining calm amid chaos. Now, we arrive at the most critical moment, the point of true transformation. I want you to understand something fundamental. Stoicism is not about becoming a passive observer of your life. It's about becoming an active, intentional creator of your experience. Your personal Stoic manifesto is a declaration of inner strength. It's a commitment to 1. Embrace challenges as teachers. Every difficulty carries a lesson. Every setback contains a seed of growth. When life feels like it's falling apart, you're actually being given an opportunity to rebuild more intelligently, more resiliently. 2. Maintain inner sovereignty. External circumstances will always be variable. Your inner peace is your true wealth. No economic downturn, no personal tragedy, no unexpected challenge can touch the core of who you are if you choose resilience. 3. Practice radical responsibility. Stop waiting for perfect conditions. Stop blaming external circumstances. Your power lies in your response, your effort, your attitude. Stoicism is not a one-time application. It's a daily practice, a moment-by-moment choice. Each morning, you'll wake up and consciously choose clarity over confusion, calm over chaos, growth over stagnation, wisdom over reactivity. To everyone watching who feels overwhelmed, who feels like their life is falling apart, this message is for you. You are not alone. Your challenges do not define you. Your response to those challenges does. Epictetus reminds us it's not what happens to you, but how you react to it that matters. I want to give you a concrete roadmap. Here's how to immediately start implementing Stoic principles. 1. Morning reflection, 10 minutes. Review potential challenges. Set intentional responses. Practice gratitude. 2. Evening review, 10 minutes. Reflect on your day. Identify learning opportunities. Plan for continuous improvement. 3. Weekly deep dive. Journal about your growth. Analyze your emotional patterns. Adjust your approach. Remember, You're part of something larger than your individual experience. Every time you choose wisdom over reactivity, you're not just healing yourself, you're contributing to a more resilient, compassionate world. Your calm becomes a beacon, your resilience becomes an inspiration, your wisdom becomes a legacy. Life will continue to be unpredictable, challenges will come, storms will rage. But you'll be the rocky headland Marcus Aurelius spoke of, unmoved, unbroken, transforming every wave of challenge into an opportunity for growth. Your journey begins now. Stay strong, stay wise, stay calm.